Uh, yeah, I mean, we think we had a really good day. This is kind of what we had set out to do. I think from position standpoint, we added 14 mid-year guys and we signed 13 high school guys, which is, for what we were facing, I think is the balance that we were kind of looking. I mean, you have to fill some holes that from what you lost from attrition and also what you lost, I think, transfer portal wise. And then, but, I want to try every year to sign us what I think is a healthy high school class as well. And so anyway, that's what we set out to do. We had some pretty sizable holes whenever I got here and started looking at the depth chart. Again, I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but you'll see. I mean, we had when I looked up at the board, we had one scholarship corner, and that's kind of a problem. And so anyway, we went out and tried to address that as best we could, and we got some mid-year guys in at the corner position, and then I think getting Kenyatta was really big for us from Hammond to come here as a corner. But I think the other theme I think you'll see hopefully is that we did sign. There were some guys here that were either committed or we had offered. They were committed to visits when I got here, and we honored them and stuff. So, but I'm really pleased with the ones that were brought in. I mean, you'll see there are three DBs from that played in California junior colleges that Coach Brown identified and came in. I've really been pleased with all three of them. Their attitude, their work ethic. It's also kind of I thought was pretty interesting. Good side note, but Saphir Steels Bay is a really long corner that came in, and when he came in, again, that was from the previous staff. And when he came in, my first job was I coached at Westlake High School, and his uncle was one of our better players, Chris Stills. So although he played, he grew up in California, but the Stills family is from Westlake. So the first person when I saw his uncle and what are you doing here? Well, that's my nephew, and so Saphir a couple times a year, I think is what he told us, came to Lake Charles to see family and stuff. So I thought that was a small world. And but everybody else, like I said, we went after. And but if you see even some of the other mid-year guys that we brought in, I mean, there's in most cases there's some local. It's within our footprint. Mason Edwards is from Utah State, but he's from Denham Springs. Ryan Robinson came from Iowa State, but he's from New Orleans. I mean, we knew him. He played at Carr, and so I think you'll see some of that theme as well. Joseph Cryer started LSU and is from Southern Miss, but he played at Manny in Natchitoches Central, but his whole family's from Manny, and I've been knowing the Cryer family. It's Casey's cousin. I mean, we've been knowing the Cryer family. I've been knowing his dad for years and stuff. So, I think you'll see some of that theme too as well. Even with some of the transfer guys we bring in, I feel I've always felt a lot better if I really knew a lot about them. The linebacker that we brought in from South Alabama, number one, Michael Smith coached him, so we knew a lot about him. But the second thing is he's from Zachary, and I think at least half the Zachary staff is McNeese, and so we felt like we knew a lot about him as well. So anyway, like I said, that's kind of the overall, I guess, look at it of the class. But we felt like everywhere we needed to sign players, we signed players. So it's not like we're in a position now. We don't think that we're in a position that we got to go out and get. We have filled the positions or whatever, and now it'll really be a matter of what the guys this spring do, and if we have to go out from there. Kenan Landry's another one. I mean, I've been knowing Kenan for years, and although he's coming here from Kent State, he's from Jennings. I mean, I've been knowing him a long time, and obviously have a lot of people there can vouch for his character and kind of person he is, and so. The other thing too that we tried to do, and that I'm really big on, and that if you look at the class and even look at the transfer portion of the class, Jake Strong, who we're really excited about. Jake has 3 years. Alex has 2 years. That's already here. We're really excited about both of them. So we're bringing in Caden DeBetta, who has 5 years. So if we do bring in a quarterback, another one to give us 4, which is what I normally carry, I'm really looking for somebody that has 4 years. We're trying to piece this thing. So we didn't bring in anybody that only has 1 year. We have guys that have multiple years. Ryan Robinson has 3, Saphir has 3. We're trying to which I'm really big on, trying to space the thing out. I mean, there's no sense in having 3 junior quarterbacks. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. In a perfect world, and when I get to looking at things, I like things a little bit more orderly in terms of how your players leaving and players coming up, to where you can have some kind of roster balance, I guess, is big for me. And so we tried to do that. But, like I said, I thought the previous staff obviously gave us a some sort of head start on here, and being able to retain some of the guys on the staff, and then having AI, here, managing all this has really been big for us. So.
When you look up and down the sheet of guys you brought in, obviously you see a lot of Louisiana and Texas. How big was that to kind of lock down that I-10 corridor for you guys?
Well, it's going to be big, no doubt. And obviously we got a late start this year, but we're going to try to do that. And we're late, I think, and kind of doing this. So we only really spent a few days in this off season actually on next year's class. So, but the days that we did, and AI and I got together, and but how we started and how we're going to start every recruiting class is the first day that we got out on next year's class, we sent 10 coaches, each had 5 schools, and we went to the 50 closest schools in Louisiana. So we were in every school. And then the next day we took the 50 closest schools across the river in Southeast Texas, and we hit all 50. That's how we're going to start every recruiting cycle. So when we get back out in May, we're going to hit the same 50 schools on day 1. We're going to hit the same 50 schools in Texas on day 2, and then they're going to have an area. But we're going to start every recruiting cycle we have in the schools that are closest to us. I mean, I think you have to, I think your recruiting base has to be inside out. I've always felt that way, and I was fortunate enough too when I went to Lafayette and worked for Billy Napier. That's the same way he did it. I mean, everybody had local, and then you had your area. So you were going to make sure that you took care of that. But if you go back and watch our history here, that's the way I always did it. And I was excited, like I said, because a guy that had Power 5 background came into Louisiana and basically had the same view of it. And that's what we're going to do. So to answer your question, we're certainly going to, I'm not going to say that we took it over after basically after the dead period, 3 weeks of recruiting, but that's going to be the goal we're going to try to do, no doubt.
Talking about recruiting local talent, some big names a lot of people know, Kevin Rito, Cohen Charles, local guys. Just what played into that decision, and what do they bring to this team?
Well, without getting into schools and stuff, which I'm not going to do, but both those guys were committed to signing somewhere else, like a day, 2 days, a day after I got the job.
Yes,
and those were both basically done, and one of them was done on my drive over here to sign the contract. I knew that one of the young men were scheduled to sign somewhere else, and and I had watched them already, and I just basically asked the coach to ask him if he's interested in McNeese to, we're offering 2 stuff. So, but actually there's 2 kids, that we recruited in a day. But like I said, one of them, I actually did it on the way driving over here, and tried to get in the mix because I think I signed the contract really almost into the night on Monday, and the first signing day was Wednesday, So yeah, we did that, in a hurry. But I thought they were good players, and I'd already seen them, and I wanted to get in the mix, and we were fortunate to be able to get in the mix.
How important was it? Because you said earlier you wanted to even out the position rooms. We also wanted to even out the classes. How were you able to do that? How important was that?
It's, I think we made some progress on that, Jim. Maybe not, sometimes it's not as nice and neat as you want it, but I think we certainly made some progress on that. Looking at it, like I said, I just used the quarterback room for example, but there are some positions that we're already top heavy, I guess, or just as example that, you try to even it out, but, obviously, you're not going to come in and, gave every kid an opportunity to stay that wanted to stay and stuff. So we tried to do that at positions we could. There's still probably a couple positions that, still not maybe not quite the balance we want, but we did the best we could with the numbers that were already here.
I'm going to ask the Rick Sarah quarterback question. Can you
Yeah.
talk to us a little about Jake Strong?
Jake has everything that we were looking for, and so far has in his time in Lake Charles has done nothing but put a cherry on it. I mean, everything that we had learned from him. We were fortunate that Aaron already had a relationship with him and his family, so that's what got us in. But we were also able to that, we have some coaches here that know Texas Tech people, and then, Jake had done some work earlier in his career with Riley Dodge, who's a former player here and stuff. So, Riley really thought very highly of him, the Texas Tech coaches and stuff. And like I said, but what got us in the game was AI, his past relationship with the USA Football, and stuff, and kind of knew that. But we think he checks all the boxes what we're looking for, and then in terms of he's a natural leader too. I mean, he's one of those guys that I think has a great presence about him as a natural leader, and so we think he's gonna. We're really excited about him, no doubt.
What does it say about Alex though that he didn't get up and leave in the portal, that he wanted to stay and fight for the job?
I think Alex has been tremendous. I think since the first time I met him, and I think Alex really likes Lake Charles and really likes McNeese, and he's conveyed that to me. And look, it's wide open competition. I mean, they're going. We're going to go in and and Alex coming back, but and then of course Alex. I think the other big thing with him too is only playing in the 4 games. So I mean, he gets that year, and so now he's got 2 years, of eligibility and stuff. So. But no, I look forward to it. I think they're both tremendous young men, both students of the game and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, to seeing both of them get out there and, and compete.
I think losing, some top players as far as like Micah and Joe Sean to the portal, do you think you've been able to kind of fill those holes and be able to?
I don't know. I mean, that remains really because I didn't coach either player. But, and then, of course, we got to see the ones that we brought in. But, I mean, I just think that's the era we live in. I mean, if you're on the right guys and you develop the right guys, and there's a chance that you're going to lose the wrong guys. That's just the way it is. And but no, I think that what we've done with this signing, I think that but we'll have to see. Who's. I don't know how to stack up guys against whatever, and don't really want to try. But I like what we've brought in, and we'll see how it works out.
Where are you in scholarships? Are you full?
We're pretty full. Yeah, we are. We're pretty full. Like I said, the intent of what we're trying to do is fill some holes with mid-year guys, sign a healthy signing class, and then basically we go through the spring, and who knows? It's just the nature of a new coach. Well, maybe this person is not comfortable here. Maybe this person. Then go into the second portal and try to fill in the attrition holes from the spring. But what I did not want to do is wait to the second portal, and now who knows? I don't know. Maybe you'll lose 2 or 3 guys at a position that you're not anticipating, so you'll have to jump in there. But that's not what I didn't want to have to go into it already knowing that, so to speak. But
so you're just going to use the second one to fill anything you lose, probably.
That's the idea that AI and I have talked about, and that's what what we understand as a staff. But like I said, it's important to me to each year to try to sign what I consider a healthy high school class. I think we have to for the foundation to keep trying to move the thing forward and stuff. So this was the 13 high school guys are what the numbers allowed.